We all want our children to be self-sufficient and independent, but are you actually teaching your children the skills that they need to do so? Hi, my name is Emily Brown, and I'm a life coach for Catholic homeschooling moms who want to have more peace, more confidence, and more clarity in their call from God to homeschool their children. You can get all the information about my life coaching program, the Happy Holy Mama membership, in the link below this video. But for now, let's talk about study skills that you could be teaching your children to help them be more independent and more self-sufficient, and ultimately work yourself out of a job. The number one study skill to practice with your kiddos is their belief in themselves that they can do this, that they can figure things out, and that they can do hard work. And this might require them borrowing your confidence in them. So it's important for mom to be able to spend time thinking about all the ways that your children are fully capable of doing good and hard work and building up that belief in them and letting them borrow that belief for themselves. And so this might look like encouraging them when they do something that you are happy that they're doing and doing what you've asked them to do and saying thank you and being grateful. It could also be showing them all the things that they are doing well and helping them to see that for themselves. This can go a really long way for a child who is already self-critical and has a hard time seeing those wins for themselves. So your belief in them allows them to borrow that belief for themselves and to be able to start really choosing to do hard work because they believe that they can. Most of us, as a human being, we don't want to do things that we don't think we are capable of doing. And so if you're fighting with your children a lot about whether or not they can do the work, pausing all of the curriculum for a time while you work on building up their beliefs that they can do this, that they can figure it out, can actually go a really long way and might even make the work that they sit down to do a whole lot smoother and go a lot more efficiently because now they are doing it from belief instead of lack of belief. The number two study skill to help them become more self-sufficient is helping them understand what their why is. Now, when they're little, their why might be because mom told me to, because I want to go play, or because I'm ready to just move on with my day. And that is a completely acceptable why. But for your older children, it might be important to have a bigger conversation with them about what it is that they want for their lives and what kind of person do they want to be and what kinds of dreams do they have. This might be challenging if they've never really been given the time or the space to dream or to think beyond this curriculum and what their assignments are today. And so for you, it might be important for you to scale back a little bit on what you're asking them to do so that they can constrain to the most important work that you need them to do today to help you guys meet your goals, which we'll talk about in just a minute, but also giving them the time and the space to process what it is that they learn so that they can even ask themselves bigger questions like, what do I want for my life and who do I want to be? So the number two study skill to help them practice is actually practicing their belief in who they are and what they're capable of doing, but also why? What do I want? What's the purpose behind the work? What is the purpose behind anything that I'm setting my mind to doing? What do I want beyond this moment here and now? The number three study skill to help your children start practicing is setting their own goals. So this goes far beyond just what goals you have for them and what you want them to achieve. It's actually helping them practice the skill of goal setting and helping them understand what it is that they want to achieve by the end of this week in order to meet our longer term curriculum goals. It's also going to be allowing them the time and the space to experiment with what they want to work on today in order to meet an end of the week goal or an end of semester goal or end of even curriculum goal. And so really giving them the time, having conversations with them about what it is that they want to work on here and now can go a really long way toward building that belief, which is the number one study skill, and believing that they can do it, that they are capable of doing it, and then also understanding what their bigger picture might be. So all of these skills are going to be intertwined and layered together. You can also do them one at a time and spread them out over the course of a year if that is something that your individual child or your individual family needs to do. It's okay. I really recommend constraining to just one or two of these if you're starting from scratch, but really helping them to create their own goals here and now today can go such a long way in helping them be more self-sufficient, especially with their time and their time management. All right, the number four study skill to help your child become more self-sufficient, focused time. And focused time is where you are completely constrained to a task at hand, which is something we all struggle with if you have a human brain. And so being able to constrain for a concentrated amount of time and getting as much done as you can within that amount of time can help you be more productive within that set period of time. And And so you might not need to work for as long, but you might be more productive if you are all in on the work here and now. And so helping them build that muscle of concentration can begin with something super simple like setting a timer and really allowing them to work for a smaller, shorter, concentrated amount of time, but do it and set that timer for a really doable, achievable amount of time, not what you think it should be in order to get this much work done, but what is appropriate for your unique child right now. And let us build on that. But let's start out with a smaller, more concentrated amount of time, like 5 or 10 minutes, especially when they're really little, and just build the win. Okay. If they get the win because they've done it and mom is celebrating that and honoring that and letting that be enough for the day or for this particular subject for the day, then what that's going to do is that it's going to help build trust between you and the kid. It's going to help build their belief that they can do this hard thing, which concentrating for that amount of time can actually feel really hard, especially to a younger child or even an older child who's just not practiced at this yet. It's also going to go a really long way toward building this foundation that you're going to be building on for the rest of your educational career with them and any other ways that you want to apply these skills in their lives, because they're going to know if I just sit down and get this work done, I'm going to be more productive. And that is going to go in again into their inner belief about who they are and what they're capable of. But it's also going to go a really long way toward building your relationship with your children and the belief that they need going out into this world, that you're going to be there to support them and you're not going to ask them to do more than they're currently capable of. What this is going to do is this is going to help them build that foundation of knowing what they're capable of right now, but then also giving them the belief that they could do more if they chose to. And that's really the ultimate goal of having a self-sufficient person and raising self-sufficient humans, is being able to show them what they're capable of in the future by showing them what they can do right here and right now. The fifth study skill for self-sufficient kids is going to be the skill of evaluating, but they need to learn how to evaluate in a really healthy and gentle way that builds them up and doesn't just tear them down. And so I really recommend using my 3-step evaluation process, which is going to be to look at what went well and really celebrating the wins, no matter how small they feel, and then looking at what didn't go so well and picking one thing that we want to work on and do a little bit differently. And that's the 3rd step of evaluating, which is going to be to choose just one thing that you want to tweak and try and do again differently the next time we sit down to do this task. And so if we can learn how to evaluate, we can teach our children how to evaluate, then they're going to be able to apply that evaluation skill to anything that they do in life. And that is going to allow them to make further progress instead of staying stuck in self-criticism. And when they're willing to do that 3-step evaluation from the belief that they're going to be able to do it even better next time, and that they can always come to you for any questions or support that they need, because you've built this foundation of belief and this level of camaraderie instead of butting heads all the time against each other for getting our work done, then what that's really going to do is it's going to allow your child to be more self-sufficient and more self-motivated, not just here and now, but for the rest of their lives. And that is truly our end goal as Catholic homeschooling moms, is to help them become Catholic adults, then raising the next generation of Catholic adults who believes in themselves and can go out and do hard things, but be rooted in their family and their faith. And that is really what we're saying yes to here as Catholic homeschooling moms, and what the Lord has probably placed on your heart to do when He called you to homeschool your unique children. If you'd like to know more about my work as a Catholic life coach for Catholic homeschooling moms, please check out all the details for my program, the Happy Holy Mama membership, in the link below this video. And while you're down there, please like and subscribe so that you can get notified every single month when I release new life coaching content geared specifically to your Catholic homeschooling lifestyle. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I am praying for you. God bless.